They should have backed her from day one instead of fighting the moment. Because what just happened with Nike and Caitlin Clark didn't just expose great marketing. It exposed how badly the WNBA dropped the ball. If you care about honest WNBA coverage without the corporate spin, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to keep the vision. Hit that bell. And let's get into why this moment matters more than people realize. We need to talk about what really just happened with Nike and Caitlin Clark. Because this wasn't just a sneaker release. This was a wake-up call. A spotlight on one of the biggest missed opportunities in women's basketball history. Let that sink in for a second. Caitlin Clark wrapped up her rookie season in September 2024. Her signature shoe didn't hit until late December. That's 3 full months of silence. 3 months of hype with nowhere to go. 3 months where kids who watched her shatter records went looking for something, anything, to buy, and came up empty. No signature shoe, no easily available jersey, no way to turn inspiration into ownership. And here's the part people are getting wrong. This wasn't Nike dropping the ball. This delay wasn't about production, it was about leadership. The WNBA had lightning in a bottle and let it sit on the shelf. They failed to cash in on momentum they didn't even create, but absolutely could have amplified. This wasn't just a missed launch, it was a missed era-defining moment.
Watch this video, they probably have watched your new commercial. So, you got a group of people like featuring in your new commercial. What do they mean to you?
Well, I think a lot of the people that are in this commercial are either people I've met or interacted with or have been big supporters of my career this far, whether it was, me from a young age or, my college coach or Travis Scott, who came to a game when I was in college. He came to senior night.
Pants.
I love it. He brought some crazy energy on senior night, or the Kelsey brothers who supported me, honestly, in college and even now professionally. So just a lot of different people that have really tuned in and really supported women's basketball, and then obviously specifically my career. So
Listen closely to this, because it matters. Travis Scott didn't show up at her senior night because a PR team told him to. The Kelsey brothers didn't ride with her from college to the pros because the league asked them to. None of this was manufactured. It happened because Caitlin Clark turned herself into must-watch television. People couldn't look away. The league didn't create that moment. They just benefited from it when she declared for the draft. And here's where it went wrong. Instead of protecting that lightning in a bottle, instead of building the product around the attention she was pulling in, they let her get hunted on the court. While fans were tuning in, the league was busy debating whether her popularity was fair to everyone else. And in that hesitation, they risked fumbling the biggest opportunity they've ever had.
我做了刚刚的这个广告解析。
As more and more people watch your commercial, your campaign, what do you hope they can take away from your campaign this time?
I think for myself, it was kind of this just belief of you can kind of achieve anything and you have this confidence and you can kind of do it from anywhere and make it your own. I feel like that's kind of been my story of like, I have a lot of this confidence. It started, in my driveway as a young kid of this belief of like wanting to be really good at basketball and spending a lot of time doing it. And, my family were my biggest supporters since day one, and they kind of helped build that dream with me. And then now getting to do it on the biggest stage, I think is pretty special. And hopefully, I feel like inspiring the younger generation, it doesn't even have to be for them to play basketball, but for them just to achieve and believe whatever they want to and become whatever they want to, I think is a really powerful thing.
This is why the campaign works so well. Nike didn't sit around waiting for the WNBA to figure out how to market Caitlin Clark. They went straight to the source. They tapped into the driveway in Iowa, the family backing her, the confidence built long before the sold-out arenas. That story is real, and that's why it hit. But here's the miss. This should have dropped in June, right after the draft, not December when the season had been cold for months. Every week without a signature shoe wasn't just a delay, it was lost money, lost buzz, lost culture. Timing matters, and the NBA has always understood that. LeBron had his shoe within months of entering the league. Zion did too. Every generational talent in a well-run league gets fast-tracked. Meanwhile, the WNBA had a once-in-a-generation star and spent half the season arguing about whether she even deserved the spotlight.
Girls in China, more and more attentions for women's basketball in China right now. A lot of young girls, they attribute their interest to basketball, of basketball to you.
That's cool.
So how you feel about that?
And obviously, China's not a place I've ever been to, but I know I'll be there very soon. And I think that's super exciting. And I think having that type of reach is something that also has an impact on me. Like, you get to inspire so many different people, so many people from different walks of life, but they all love the same thing. They love basketball and they love getting to watch it and become better at it. And that's exactly like kind of what my story was. I like always just wanted to be better. I loved watching it. I wanted to put a lot of time into improving my game. So hopefully I'm inspiring a lot of people in China, especially the young boys and girls, to want to really invest a lot of time to be as great as they can be.
全世界的女篮门面到底
Pay attention to this, because the answer about China changes everything. She's not just talking about basketball, she's talking about reach, influence, and inspiring young girls far beyond American borders. And she's right. Caitlin Clark isn't a local star, she's a global one. Iowa games were being streamed in Asia, her highlights were exploding across Europe. This isn't hype, this is international impact happening in real time. But here's the disconnect. The WNBA simply isn't built to handle a star of this magnitude. Domestic media rights are still a mess. Games are scattered across platforms. Broadcast quality is inconsistent. And on top of that, the league is stuck in a CBA negotiation that's dragged past Christmas with no resolution. Think about how insane that is. Imagine being Caitlin Clark, breaking records, selling out arenas, pulling massive viewership, handling the media with grace, while the league you're carrying can't even guarantee there will be a season next year. In China, people didn't notice her when she was still figuring it out. They noticed her once she was already dominant, a winner, a force. And when asked to go back to the beginning, to the moments when basketball felt hard, her answer was honest. She didn't pretend it was easy. She talked about bad games, brutal workouts, moments that tested her, but she also made something clear. She always had the skill, and more importantly, she loved the game enough to keep pushing. That combination is rare. Most players have talent or work ethic. Very few have both. Even fewer add elite basketball IQ, clutch gene, and media awareness on top of it. The WNBA gets a player like this maybe once every 15 years, if they're lucky. And what happened during her rookie season? She was flagrant fouled with little accountability. Commentators questioned whether she deserved her popularity. Instead of celebrating a rising tide that could lift the entire league, the narrative turned into jealousy, resentment, and noise. When she talks about the future of girls' basketball, her vision is exactly right. More visibility, more opportunities, more games on TV, more fans in the stands, more chances to go global, to China, to anywhere. And let young girls see the players they idolize up close. Because those moments matter. They shape belief. They change lives. She knows that because she lived it. But here's where it all falls apart. While that vision is about growth, the current reality is about dysfunction. The WNBA Players Association is so focused on fighting over the current revenue split that they're risking the entire 2025 season. Meanwhile, Unrivaled, the new 3-on-3 league, tips off in days, and some of the same players, negotiating the WNBA's future, are co-founders of that league, publicly saying their priority is getting Unrivaled off the ground. You can't negotiate in good faith when you're financially invested in a competing product. The longer this drags on, the worse it looks for everyone involved. We're past Christmas. Everyone is exhausted. Fans are exhausted. Players are exhausted. We get moments of excitement, like the Caitlin Clark shoe announcement, but none of it matters when we don't even know if there's a season coming. Unrivaled is launching in days. Kyo founders sitting on the negotiation panel are saying they're only worried about that. So who's actually worried about getting the CBA done? And let's be real, the league office isn't off the hook either. Refereeing issues were ignored. Games turned into straight-up prison ball. The product suffered. The leadership failed. Between the league and the Players Association, this entire process has looked like a clown show. The truth is simple and frustrating. Caitlin Clark should have walked into a league run with professionalism, the way generational stars are protected, promoted, and supported in other sports. Instead, she walked into chaos. And that's the real tragedy here, not just for her, but for a league that was handed a global icon and still doesn't seem to know what to do with her. Nobody wants to say this out loud, but the CBA mess just exposed how unserious this league really is. It's past Christmas. Camps should be opening. Free agency should be buzzing. Teams should be locking in rosters. Instead, everything's frozen, and it's embarrassing. And it's not just the CBA. The officiating during Caitlin's rookie year was so bad it turned into a national joke. Plays that would have earned suspensions anywhere else were waved off as physical basketball. The league put out soft statements while their biggest star got targeted nightly. That's not professionalism. That's negligence. The commissioner defended the status quo instead of the future. When your golden goose is getting beat up on the court and your response is, "That's playoff basketball," you're failing at your job. Period. The players' union isn't helping either. They turned basic negotiations into a public circus, demanding more without explaining how the league actually grows. Everyone's fighting over slices of a pie that could be 10 times bigger if expansion mattered more than ego. Caitlin Clark walked into a league that wasn't ready for her, a union that saw her as a threat, a media system that couldn't keep up, a business operation that moved way too slow. And now look at the wasted opportunity. Imagine if the league embraced her immediately, protected her, marketed her, built around the moment. We'd be talking sold-out arenas everywhere, massive TV deals, global expansion, signature shoes across the league. Instead, we got jealousy, controversy, and a standoff that might cancel a season. That Nike campaign says everything without saying a word. Nike understands stars, timing, and culture. The WNBA understands bureaucracy, infighting, and how to miss a moment. And the worst part? This was completely avoidable. The NBA learned these lessons decades ago. By the time LeBron showed up, the machine was ready. The WNBA has had nearly 30 years and still looked unprepared when the biggest opportunity ever arrived. Caitlin deserved better. Better protection, better leadership, better partners. Instead, she got prison ball defense on the court and passive-aggressive commentary off it. The truth is, the league needs Caitlin more than she needs the league. She's set with Nike. Media opportunities are endless. Overseas money is there. She could walk away tomorrow and still win. The WNBA needs to act fast. End the CBA standoff. Lock the season. Fix officiating. Market proactively, not reactively. And stop treating her success like a problem to manage instead of the gift it is.